Yerg's back here with another episode of the Third and Long Pick Six Show, Week 7 edition. Coming off a bad 2-4 week last week, but we're going to try and capitalize again, get back up to 500. 16-19-1 overall on the season, but let's just keep moving forward. We're going to grind, and we're going to make this one quick today because I was delayed from yesterday. I wasn't able to do it. Had a lot of stuff going on. Birthday weekend, I know. Thank you for the happy birthdays. But we're going to make it quick. We're going to get the picks out, and let's find those winners today. Thanks again for the support, and if you already haven't, make sure you subscribe at The Real Ray Yergs on YouTube and on Twitter. You can find everything there. All right, right into it. Cowboys hosting the Lions. I like the Cowboys here at -6.5. I like them coming off of a Sunday Night Football loss against the Eagles. It was a close game. Keep in mind, we were on the Cowboys last week getting points, but if we get in the Cowboys to get under a touchdown here against the Lions team who looks good throughout the season at certain times, but really seems to struggle. And they struggled big time against the Patriots, so I expect them to struggle even more against a well-tuned Cowboys defense. I love what they're doing. Dak's back in the starting role today. I think it's going to be a huge motivation being at home with Dak coming back, and they're going to be roaring. They're going to be big time blowout here. Is my expectation here. I would be surprised if the Lions put up about maybe 2 touchdowns total, but I expect the Cowboys to romp the Lions and score somewhere in the 30s. So I like the Cowboys at -6.5 here. Favorite pick of the day, Giants at the Jags. Giants catching 3 points again. A 5-1 team catching 3 points at Jacksonville. I said this last week. Giants are a surprise team. They're playing very good, well coached. They're grinding. They play hard. I love what they're doing, and I'm going to ride this wave again. I'm going to take the Giants at +3 at Jacksonville. This is going to be another huge. I know it might be a little bit crazy because the big motivational win last week against the Ravens come from behind, but I like what this team's doing. I like where they're going. I'm taking the Giants +3. That's my favorite pick of the week. Packers at Washington. I'm expecting listen, the Packers are struggling. They were a Super Bowl pick for me. They were, my Super Bowl pick to win. -4.5 here. It's one of those weird numbers, but Wentz isn't playing. Not that Wentz was doing great anyway. But I expect Aaron Rodgers to get this team back on track to where they need to be because they are losing ground and losing ground fast. And what better way to gain this ground, to get back into that win column against a very bad Washington team. This team is just atrocious. They don't know how to put up points. I don't even know how they have a couple of wins on the season. But -4.5 here with this number, I'm taking the Packers for a blowout victory here. I expect them to come out strong and fiery. I expect Aaron Rodgers to throw at least 3 touchdowns, passing for over 300 yards in this game. There's just something about this game that screams Aaron Rodgers is going to get this team back on track and getting them in the winning way. Going back to the well with the Seahawks, we didn't do good last week with the Seahawks, but I'm going to go back to that well. Seahawks at Chargers. I'm going to go back to the over 50.5 here. Weird game last week. Surprised that they didn't score a lot of points with Arizona the way that they scored points. So I guess when you have 2 kind of bad defenses, they just really played really good against each other. I don't know. It was kind of weird. But I'm going to go back to the well. I love where the Chargers are headed. They're, on a rise in my power rankings. They've been playing really good football. Herbert's been fantastic. He's throwing for at least a touchdown every game for I don't know how many games. But I expect him to at least throw 2 touchdowns in this game. I expect Geno Smith to have a pretty good game too. Chargers are vulnerable to giving up points. So I like where this number is. I like it at 50.5. I felt like it should have been at about 52, 53. So we're getting a little bit of value here in my opinion. So I like this over 50.5 between the Seahawks and the Chargers. This one is a tricky one. I know it's not to let it fool you. 49ers coming off a bad loss against the Falcons, but the Chiefs coming off a loss against the Bills. Chiefs are facing a little bit of a struggle here if they face another loss, but I like the Chiefs at -1.5 here. I know that Christian McCaffrey was just traded to 49ers. They expect him in the lineup today, but the Chiefs on the defensive side of the ball are going to be able to do the things that they need to stop some of the plays that McCaffrey might be in for. They're going to be able to stop Samuel. I don't expect the 49ers defense. The 49ers defense is where their struggles are, especially without Bosa in the mix. But the Chiefs' offense is, far more superior than the Falcons, obviously. And you see what the Falcons did. So I would expect Andy Reid to have watched that game film and been able to see where the exposures are. And the Chiefs are going to be able to expose that even more. So I know it's a road game, but I like the Chiefs here to get right again, -1.5. Still, to me, one of the top 3 in my power rankings. Still one of the best teams in the league, and I would expect them to just keep on rolling. I don't expect too many more losses for the Chiefs throughout the rest of the season. Final pick. This one's a crazy one. It's a Monday Night Football game. Keep that in mind. Patriots -7.5 at Chicago. This number threw me off a little bit. I felt like this number should have been closer to about 8.5, 9, maybe even 10. But if we're catching almost nearly a touchdown for the Patriots traveling on the road against the Bears, Patriots have been playing fantastic football the last several weeks. Zappy in the quarterback position, to me, is where it's at for the Patriots. I like where they're headed with the quarterback. Sid and Mac Jones, it's like I felt like they got. I said this last week. I felt like they got an upgrade. And Mac Jones is a great quarterback. Don't get me wrong, but Zappy brings a little bit more dynamic, better arm into the mix, and they're letting him do more than they did with Mac Jones. So that kind of tells you something. So I expect the offense to keep rolling. The running game has been phenomenal. Obviously, we got to watch out for the Bears' run defense. The defense has been really good this season, but on the offensive side of the ball, there's not going to be much done from Fields against the Patriots defense, who's been just another phenomenal defense as they have throughout the years. So I like the Pats here at -7.5, playing fantastic football, and I like to see where they continue to get headed going forward. So quick rundown one more time: Cowboys -6.5, Giants +3, Packers -4.5. Get right game for them. It's a big get right game for them. Hawks Chargers over 50.5. Chiefs -1.5. Pats -7.5. Go get those picks in. Let's get some winners. Enjoy your weekend.